Today we're going to be talking about Destined Rivals, everything from new releases all the way to prices in the market right now. Lots to cover, and also I know it's been a bit of a break since I've sort of uploaded videos, and I'm back at it again. Things were a little bit hectic for me at the beginning of April, and so things have sort of settled down now, and I can finally get back to making videos every other day to every 2 days. So I'm really looking forward to it. Have a lot of ideas that I'd love to sort of talk about in terms of in the market and in terms of collecting, investing. So yeah, without wasting any time, let's get into today's video. So to start off with, we have all of the actual main set cards that have been released. This on PokeBeach. I want to sort of show y'all the cards. So as we can see, tons and tons of different artworks over here. And then in terms of EXs, now this is the more important element because whatever is an EX is the only card that has a potential to be an SIR or special illustration rare. In Japanese, special art rare or SAR. So in this case, we have Arboliva, we have a Moltres, right? Pretty nice. The Moltres, I'd say that would be a really, really cool one to get. We do have these weird characters though. I'm really, really annoyed by this one thing in Rocket. I was really hoping to see sort of characters we're familiar with. So apart from Giovanni, right, we have Jesse, we have James, we have Meowth, Butch, Cassidy, even those random sort of doctors that are sort of appearing once in a while in the show. Like, I would have liked to see a little bit more of a recognizable sort of palette of characters rather than these grunts, because this is underwhelming for me, honestly. But I do sort of hold out hope for some of the artworks for sure, though. But yeah, if we keep going on, we'll see that there's a couple more EXs here. We got Sea Titan EX, not a Rocket one. We do have Rocket's Mewtwo. This is definitely a special illustration rare due to all the indications that sort of come out so far. When Rocket was first kind of announced during last year, we sort of saw this Mewtwo flash by in this Rocket symbol, and naturally, I mean, it just wouldn't make sense for the set not to have a Rocket's Mewtwo. So we do have that, which is looking like it's gonna. I'm hoping it's gonna be pretty sweet. It's gonna be soon that they drop those announcements as well. The release date's coming up on us, right? It's about 6 days away, is it? I think something like that. But yeah, it's pretty close. Pretty cool artworks though. Nidoqueen right here. We have an EX Nidoking. Not mad about that. Pretty cool Pokemon. And it does fit the sort of poison type, dark type that generally Team Rocket tends to employ in their, schemes. If we keep going here, we got one more EX. It's the Persian. I think this is definitely going to get SAR. As soon as I saw the Giovanni with the Meowth, I was like, yeah, it's pretty much getting an SAR. The Persian is probably going to be a connected art, honestly. Just my, speculation there. But yeah, these are the remaining cards. So looking alright, but the fact that those are EXs is less of an exciting sort of prospect for me, honestly. I was looking forward to this set, and I was hoping to see Pokemon like this. This is Gym Heroes, and we have a lot of really stunning artworks here, as you can see, but a really nice selection of Pokemon as well, right? For Rocket itself, which is like a small part of Gym Heroes, we have all the gym leaders mostly, right? Technically, Rocket was sort of running the Viridian Gym, which is like the 8th gym that trainers have to sort of beat in the Kanto region, and so it's kind of their secret base, so that's why they're part of the gym leader sort of set. But point is, it's a Rocket's Moltres, right? And yeah, random grunt. Now that we're in this modern phase, I was expecting us to see more of these characters who are recognizable. Clearly not, but anyway, we got Rocket's Moltres sort of making a reappearance, I guess. We got Scyther, we got Hitmonchan, so we have those. But then if we take a look at the actual Team Rocket returns, there's just a huge swath of interesting Pokemon here, right? Rocket's Mewtwo, of course. We have the Snorlax. Even got Articuno, Moltres, like a lot of these sort of legendaries going on over here. And then one of my favorites is this Dark Dragon. I absolutely adore it. I have it in graded form because of how much I like it. Dark Gyarados, and of course we got a bunch of other ones here. And finally, if we take a look at the actual sort of OG Rocket set, we have Dark Charizard, Dragonite, Blastoise. As soon as it was kind of clear that there were no dark Pokemon, it kind of disappointed me, but at the same time I was like, yeah, okay, they're kind of revisiting owners' Pokemon, so naturally they want to do the Rockets version, right? So to preserve the mechanic. But at the same time, if we're going into the Rocket side, I was hoping to see a little bit more of an interesting selection of Pokemon. But at least we got Moltres and Mewtwo, and you know what? If 2 cards absolutely shine, then I'd be really happy with that because it adds on to Heatwave Arena, right? The Garchomp, the Ho-Oh, the Ethan's Adventure, right? We even have a couple art rares in there that are truly fantastic. And so as a whole, gonna be pretty nice in English, right? But as a standalone for Glory of Team Rocket, we're gonna have to see how much the art rares carry this set, apart from those two SARs, in my opinion. Persian's nice, I'm sure it's gonna be nice, but I don't think that's gonna be like a fan favorite or anything. But we do have some art rares, so let's talk about that next. Of course, this came out a while ago, but I just wanted to wait till a decent number of cards came out so I could kind of talk about it in lump sum. So right here we have the ETB promo, which is the Wobbuffet card. This is Rocket's Wobbuffet, right? And I do like this artwork, actually. I was hoping to see Jesse James sort of blasting off with Wobbuffet or something like that. But honestly, for a card that's just featuring grunts, I was actually pleasantly surprised, particularly because the color palette is really vibrant and beautiful. I love the way the purples and greens are in the background, and the Wobbuffet is this bright blue in the room in this relatively dark setting. And then we also have a couple other Pokemon, Sneasel and Drowsy. And then we also have this Persian sort of light fixture, and then a couple other grunts back here. It's pretty sweet artwork. I do like this one personally. For Wobbuffet, I'd say this is probably one of the best ones. Next up, we have Zamazenta. I think this is absolutely stunning artwork. Particularly, it almost looks photorealistic. It's this wonderful sort of vibe between going for photorealistic artwork. Like, look at the way the muscles are drawn. It just looks so realistic. And yet, it sort of sticks to the anime theme at the same time. And then finally, we got this one most recently, the Orbeetle. And gotta say, I'm not a big fan. See, this was my main gripe with the fact that it's grunts, because we're getting bigger artworks. It would be more interesting to have recognizable characters. But in this particular situation, I'm not a fan of the way the art is drawn either, and Orbeetle is not really that popular a Pokemon to be here, and it's not even that good a fit into the set, like a bug type and psychic type. What does that have to do with Rocket whatsoever? Like, it doesn't really make sense. It doesn't really fit the theme. Even if you put Crobat here, it might have made a little bit more sense. That pretty much concludes new cards. I'm really hoping to see some really stunning like art rares, illustration rares are coming out soon, and then SARs. I'll definitely make a video as soon as all the remaining cards come out. But let's talk about the actual market and TCG player, right? So we have some pretty insane prices, as you can see. I did make my last video sort of showing off some of these prices. If we take a look particularly, right, for the booster box, it's actually come down quite a bit, and I'm pretty happy to see this happen. But honestly, there's a chance this set could drop a little bit more, after release. We'll have to see. I don't know if it'll necessarily drop the way Journey Together drop, particularly because there's a lot of hype around this set. We'll have to see. I think the cards that come out next are going to be pretty indicative as well of how this set is going to be received over the long term, because I think Rocket is the driving factor towards this. And at the end of the day, as many people as there are who love trainer cards, who love owners Pokemon, not everyone's a huge fan of it, right? And that's pretty clearly shown through trainer galleries, and now with Journey Together, right? There is an impact that sort of comes across. When it comes to trainer cards, not everybody is on board for it. So Rocket has to be the moving factor for this. I mean, even if there's some stunning cards, right? Like the Garchomp and the Typhlosion, it's not necessarily going to be moving this set to the extent of something like Prismatic Evolutions. If we take a look now, we got the regular ETB. This one is going for $159. Recent sales are pretty much all on par here. We got a few more here, so Booster Bundle. This dropped a little bit, not too much, honestly. Going for 77, 78, 79. Honestly, I would definitely say never pre-order sort of at these kind of prices. In the last video, I actually mentioned some of the sort of pitfalls and also the sort of things to look out for when it comes to investing. And so one of the things I said was, please do not overspend on sets, because things do become available over time as more products come out, and so forth. Deals can come up at times like December, the Christmas holidays. Like, there are opportunities that present themselves. Maybe the Mega Block will blow everything out of the water, right? And maybe these sets are not going to seem as exciting if we see some out of this world special illustration with like Lucario and Charizard. There's the X set that's been trademarked. So Mega X Mewtwo, Mega X Charizard. So that would be the blue Charizard and the bigger sort of Mewtwo. Being patient with these prices will pay off, because personally I'm not going crazy with this set, and definitely not at this price, right? Even if the next cards completely shock in Destined Rivals, sort of blow people out of the water and they look fantastic and are amazing, I'm still going to wait, right? This is one of my most, this was the set I was so excited for, that I don't usually collect master sets because I don't enjoy collecting every card under the sun for specific sets, but I loved the idea of Rocket coming back so much because dark cards are amongst my favorite. So I was like, you know what, I would love to match this set. Now I'm definitely not doing it just because of the way things have changed as well since the announcement back last year. But also because, you know, I'd rather just collect specific cards I really love. If that means waiting for a while and not getting as much sealed, maybe just going more in singles over the long term, then that might be what I have to do. You know, if not, I might go more towards the Japanese. You know, I'll definitely base my decision later on. I don't want to sort of like set out a plan for what I'm going to do with this set until things sort of settle down to some extent. Final two things is the Destined Rivals build and battle. So we do have some pretty sweet looking pre-release cards here. I'll put them up on screen. And so yeah, you know, two sort of hero Pokemon, and then we have two villain Pokemon cards, right? So, you know, fitting in with the theme of the good versus evil that's sort of going on in Destined Rivals. Yeah, look at some of the older cards and the opportunities that they present. And if you're interested in such opportunities, then take a look at my video on sort of undervalued special illustration rares from the Scarlet and Violet era. It has been a while since that video was posted, but honestly, the prices have not moved tremendously for sort of special illustration rares recently with singles correcting and so forth. So a lot of those statements hold true. Apart from that, hope y'all have a wonderful day, and I'll catch y'all in the next one.